Hello everyone, this is Scorpion from How to Do, and today I will be showing you guys how to make a simple third-person system in Unity and Playmaker. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to import and install Playmaker. So if you don't have it, then you can just click the link in the description box below and it will show you how to download Playmaker for free, and then you can just import it and install it. Next thing you need to do is you need to have some character who should be fully rigged, and it should have some animations. So I have this character. Alright, if you don't have any character, or if you don't have any rigged, or you don't have any animation, then you can just click the link in the description box below and it will show you how to find some really cool animations and how to rig your character in only 2 minutes, and they're really awesome. And I have these animations. So this is idle. He does that idle animation. Alright, nothing fancy. Next thing you have is walk, sorry. He walks. And here you have run. Alright, so you can see that this cursor over here is following the character as he moves. This is because I have set this to humanoid. If you don't have it, you I guess you have the generic, so you just go ahead and click humanoid and say apply. Alright, and the next thing you have to do is you have to say loop time. Alright, so it should be turned on. Apply and loop time and loop time. Yeah, so now what you have to do is you have to create and make animator controller. So this will control the animations. I will call it player, and let's just double click that. Alright, so it will open up this window. If you don't see this window, just go to window and animator. Alright, now what you have to do is you have to import the animations. So this one, idle, walk. It's not named correctly, so let me just name it. Walk and run. Alright, so as you can see, this idle is set orange, so this means it is the default state. If you want any other state to be default, then right click and say set as default layer, and it will make it orange. So of course we need this one to be default state. And now what we have to do is we have to just transition from idle to walk and walk to idle on some certain conditions. So I will do it by making transition on both sides, and let's just click the arrow and you can see there are some conditions. So let me just play, and it says parameter does not exist, so we have to make parameters. Just go to parameter tab over here and say plus, and we want to make a float, and it will be called anim magnitude. So it's animator magnitude. So if animator magnitude is greater than 0.1, then go to walk, and if animator magnitude is less than 0.1, then go to idle. Alright, and make sure that this is off, has exit time is off. And yeah, now what we have to do is we have to just make a plane, so on which our character would be standing. Reset it, make it a little bigger, and then to do is we have to just drag and drop our character, and it's super tiny. So let me just increase the scale just like that, and just rename it quickly player, and let me just give it the materials. So where are the materials? Here are the materials. So face, raincoat, eyes, here, the cap, where's the pant? This is the pant, t-shirt, arms, and the mask. So there we go, and this one is still remaining. Let me just give it this material and say fade. Okay, so it's pretty cool. This guy is from Watch Dogs. Okay, so he looks really cool, and let me just shorten it up. shorten the size just like that. And now when we will see, let me just put this guy over here. So when we will play, he does this. Okay, animations, where are animations? And just drag and drop this guy, animator, and then when we play, you can see that he does his idle animation. Like that. He does this idle animation, and when we will press 1, then he walks. Alright, and when I will press 0 again, he stops. So 1, he walks, 0, he does not walks. So we want to do that through coding. Alright, we want to do that with coding. Okay, there. So now we are pretty much ready to do the coding. So go ahead and say FSM, and you will find this guy if you have imported the Playmaker. And let me just call it movement and say edit. So this is the Playmaker window, and I will call this state idle, and I will make another and say walk. Alright, in idle I want to say axis vector, get axis vector. This will basically tell us in which direction the player is pressing the key. So it's set to horizontal and vertical. So these are WSD and arrow keys. And let me just store this vector into new variable, and I will call it input vector. And let's store the magnitude into FSM magnitude. Alright, and now we want to set this FSM magnitude, and let me just show you that. Go to variables, FSM magnitude, and notice here that whenever I press WSD, it has some value. Alright, so if I press W or I hold W, it has 1. If I where is it? If I press D, and it has 1. If I press S, it has 1, and if I press A, it has 1. So we want to set this value to equals to the animator float. Set animator float, and we want to set the animator float what's called animator magnitude. So let's copy and paste it over here. So we don't want any spelling mistake. If we have that, then it won't throw any error and it won't work, and that's really bad. And we want to set this animator magnitude to be equals to the FSM magnitude every frame. And now what we're going to do is we want to compare the float compare, and we want to say if FSM magnitude is and the other one is 0.1. So if it is less than or greater than 0.1, then go to some event, and that event will be called to walk, and go to walk. Alright, so if we are doing the same thing as we did in the animator, so if it's less than, then go here. If it's greater than, go here. So if FSM magnitude is less than or greater than 0.1, then go to walk every frame. And we want to copy all of these, copy, paste them over here. And what we want to change is we want to say if it's less than 0.1, then go to, sorry, not to walk, then go to idle. Go to idle. Okay, and let's see what happens. Then you will see that when we press W, he walks, and if I release it, then it stops. But you will see that if I press any key, he will walk forward no matter how. he does not change his position. So the next thing we want to do is we want to just make the what's called direction. So it is called smooth look at direction. So just say smooth look at direction, and we want target direction to the input vector, and that's pretty much it. And now when we will press play, you will see that it moves in every direction, and we will press stop, he stops there, and that's pretty awesome. The next thing we want to set that is that the camera is not indeed following it. So we want to set the camera, and we will call it camera base. Alright, and put the camera inside here, and inside the player I want to make an empty, and I will call it camera follow. So here is where the camera will follow, and let me just set it in the middle, over here, and let's just copy component and paste component values. Okay, and put it somewhere over here. Okay, and now I want to just set the camera. So this will how we will see our character, and a little bit like this, inside and top, kind of like that. I like this. I like this. And now what we're gonna do is we want to just go to camera base and add an FSM and say move towards, and we want to move towards the camera follow, and the finish distance is 0 because we don't want to finish. And you want to say mouse look, and sensitivity will be 5, and I guess it's good. And let's see what happens. So there you can see, and it's inverted, so the Y value is inverted, and let's just do that quickly, and otherwise it's, I guess, good. So go to the edit, project settings, input, mouse Y, and say invert, and let's see if it works. Yeah, so it's pretty much working really cool, you can see. But as you can see now, if I look towards there, and if I press W now, let me just, and as you can see, if I set the camera like this and if I press W, then still he walks still he walks like this. It's not relative to the camera, and it's still walking while it should fall down. So that's the two things we wanna implement. Let's go to the player and just set the main camera over here, the get axis vector. So where's get axis vector? Here, main camera, and this will solve the, let me just make it maximize. So this will solve the problem. Alright, so if I put there and still he does that stuff. Alright, and yeah, that's good. So now the next thing we want to do is we want him to fall down if we get out of it. So let's go and say character controller. Okay, it's really huge, so we want to set that small. Where is its height and radius? Small, height should be, let's set the radius first. Okay, it's really hard for me to do that. Where's it? Okay, 0.01. So let me just say, yeah. Okay, let me just move it up and increase the height to, I guess, 4, and I guess 1. Okay, yeah, I guess that's good enough. Good enough. Well, it's not good enough. Sorry. Let me just move it up a bit. Up. Come on. It's really hard for me to set it. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. And when we press play, and if I just go over here, you can see that it does not false. Now it falls. Okay, so it's pretty much working really good. And there we go, he falls. Yeah, and you can see these states, this state 1 and idle and all this stuff. So we can just remove it by going to the Playmaker GUI and just do that, and you won't see any state. So there we go. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to implement some run. All right, the run. Now go to animator and let's see. So of course we want to just transition from walk to run, because I don't want to make him run from idle. So do that, and we want to make a bool this time. So boolean is basically true or false. So run. So, and it's pretty simple to say it. If run is false, then go to walk and do that, and if run is true, then go to run. And let's go here and set that. Let's just make another state and say run, and first what we want to do is we want to just say get button down, get button down, and the button will be fire 3, and send event new event run. So fire 3 is basically left shift. If you can set it anything you want, but I want it to be run, fire 3. So if we get button down, it means if we hold fire 3, which is shift, then go over here, and in here what we want to say is set animator bool. Where is it? Set animator bool, and the parameter is called run with a capital R. Run to, and if we just press this guy right here, I don't know if I should do that. I guess I should that. So if we tick this value, it means it's true, and if we untick that, it means it's false. So let's just copy, paste it, and top, and let's just false, make it false. Control C, Control V, and false. Okay, in here what we want to do is we want to do same and same, and Control C, Control V, and what we want to do is we want to what we want to do is we want to say get button up, get button up, and it means that if we have released the button, so it's fire 3, and go to walk. walk, go back. Alright, so it means that if we release the fire 3, which is left shift, then go to walk, which is here. Alright, and from here we can go to that state. Okay, so now let's see what happens if we play. Let's maximize it. Alright, it's okay, it's working but not properly because I haven't set this guy has exit time off, so you want to make sure that you have done that. And now you can see he pretty much works really good like that. Okay, so he's running and he's walking, and that's pretty cool. So if you like this tutorial, then go ahead and like my video, and please subscribe, and if you have any suggestions, if you want to learn something, if you want anything to learn specific, then go ahead and leave that in comments, and please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.